Guys, it's Monica from Let's Enhance. Let's Enhance is an online service that uses machine learning to upscale images and improve their quality in just a single click. So today I'm going to show you a really short demo of how to use the system. First, create an account and confirm your email address. We do this just to make sure that your images are super safe and that they're linked to your personal account in Let's Enhance. So after you've done that, you can just log in and start using the system. Every new user in Let's Enhance gets 5 free images to play around and test and experiment with all the filters that are in there. So today I'm going to introduce those filters to you and show you what you can do with them. So just to bring them up, I'm going to pick just any random photo, just to bring up the 4 filters that you have to choose from. Upscaling enlarges the image and restores its quality. There are 2 options for upscaling, and which one you choose will really depend on what sort of image you're working with. If you're working with an image that has a ton of details like animals in it, people, or landscapes, you would choose to upscale it using the Photos and Art option for sure. If, on the other hand, you're using something that's much more graphic, like a logo or poster, anime, or any type of cartoon, you would choose the Logos and Cartoons option. If you're not interested in upscaling your image and just want to enhance its quality in terms of colors and textures, you can choose from one of the photo enhancements on the right. So let's dig in. I'm going to log into the system so that I can show you what types of filters you can use to achieve different effects and how they would look being applied to different photos. So I'm going to show you a photo in its original that I really love, but it's really pixelated, and obviously that's really visible, and I'd like to avoid that because I'd like to have a high quality version of it. So that's the original that we're just going to click and drag into Let's Enhance. And because I know that it's a photo with a lot of details, I'm going to choose the Photos and Art option and just start the process of upscaling it now. The upscaling process usually takes just a couple of seconds, 5 seconds for smaller images, but if the image is quite large, it can take up to 20 seconds. So let's just give it a couple of seconds and then we'll download it to compare to the original so that you guys can really see the difference. So I'm going to bring up the original. This one has completed. So the original photos, you remember, is rather small and pixelated. And the new one that I've just downloaded that's gone through the process is much larger, and it's also got a lot of the restored details that the original did not have. So now we can use it and print it out, do whatever we want. So if we assume that maybe I'm using a logo that I'd like to include in a presentation, or maybe I'd like to have it printed, you can see the original logo over here, but it's actually quite small and probably not usable for my purposes. So I'm going to run it through Let's Enhance. Just gonna click and drag into, but this time I'm gonna choose the Logos and Cartoons option because this is a much more graphic logo, and I'm just gonna start the process over here. So it's important to note that you can have several images processing in parallel. You don't have to have one after the other. It's not going to slow the system down any, so feel free to run several processes in parallel just to get all of your images upscaled in the way that you want. So that's done, and I'm going to download the new image so that you can see the comparison with the original. This is the original image, quite small, probably not usable for my purposes, but now it's actually much larger and a lot of the details have been restored again. If we're not interested in upscaling, we can also use the color enhancement to improve colors of a photo. Here's one that I really like, but the colors seem a little plain for me, so I'd like to improve on those. So I'm going to do the same thing, and just click and drag into Let's Enhance and improve the colors. And because I can have several processes running side by side, I'm actually going to get another landscape photo that I love that I think needs a little bit more texture. I think it could be more highlighted, add some low lights, and it could be made a little more dramatic for my purposes. So I'm gonna drag it into Let's Enhance. And this time I'm going to say that I'd like to enhance it by adding textures. And I'll start that process to run in parallel, but the color enhancement has actually completed. So I'm going to show you how that looks side by side. This is the original photo that I thought was a little muted. And here is the enhanced photo. Obviously, you can see the colors are much more vibrant and can be used for different purposes. So let me compare the textures photo. Now we can see the original, but the new one, I'm just going to download it. You can see side by side that there's a lot of highlights and lowlights there. It's much more defined, and hopefully we can use it for our purposes. So that's all. I hope you've enjoyed using Let's Enhance and will continue to enjoy using it. And I would be very happy to answer any questions you might have in the support. Thank you, guys.